Good evening, Zack Attack and Dragon Ace. And yes, I have played Contradiction, just not recorded. That game's great. Hello there, Kieran. What's going on? Hello there, Insane Buffoon. What's up? Hello, Enthusiast. Welcome. This freaking background. You like that skull with the Cthulhu tentacles coming out? I think we'll get started in less than a minute. Ooh, studying for national exam. Well, good luck. I got some papers to grade myself. One down, a maximum of 34 to go. Yeah, the poison color scheme is pretty great. Hello there, Overlord Mao. Yeah, I'm doing fine. How about you? Hello there, Fool Arcana. What's up? Whew. I think we'll get started in a moment. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's go. Oh, thanks, Karen. It's not that it's so hard. Oh, okay, you beat me to it. Yeah, it is tedious. All right, let's get going. We are back with the infectious madness of Dr. Dekker. There's apparently
on Valentine's night.
Time as you know it freezes.
20 minutes past 10.
Cthulhu was involved with this.
Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep.
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
I was at home,
David is my husband.
all on my lonesome.
Stabbed him with a steak knife.
Nothing changes.
I'm a qualified angel of death.
When I'm dancing,
You get this day over and over.
Hilda.
I black out,
I don't think she's got long.
And Laurie just,
naked on the beach.
Hannah.
Is that it for today?
These montages are amazing.
David hunts,
I can change my skin.
then skins.
Dr. Dekker dated his patients.
I had a hot date
We went out for drinks.
I took photos of Jessica.
Dr. Dekker did
on
phone
Valentine's Day.
and ask me for Nathan's number.
There was a girl there.
Am I wrong to keep the locket?
I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't
He
I?
was preoccupied with finding
Photographs.
patterns.
Rocking chair.
I haven't been back to the beach since
I had a bit of a shaky loop incident.
where I find something
I set fire
beautiful in the sea.
to Hannah's clothes in the garden.
I dug the grave.
I wish I'd said goodbye.
Dr. Dekker cursed me.
It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it.
Man, oh man, I cannot wait to see the beautiful thing in the sea. Now, one of the last things we had done was ask someone about the piece of jewelry she put away. I think it was Ellen. I think it was her, and she talked about Sarah Dekker, if memory serves. That's how we closed off last stream.
I don't know.
Did I spell that right? I forgot. Oh, well. Okay.
Dr. Dekker's mother. She was one of my first patients, but she died a while ago.
And we also have... well, we've had Claire before. Bryce, Jaya... Professor Warwick was new. Once he finally fades into existence, I suppose. Who are you?
Professor Warwick, I'm a physicist. Where's Dr. Dekker?
Hello there, Daniel. Greetings. Where's Dr. Dekker? He's dead.
Is he really? Actually dead? Not a worthy adversary after all, then.
What? I finally defeated him.
Dr. Dekker challenged me. He tried to use my theories against me. Quantum theories. Do you really want to know? Dekker's eyes used to glaze over whenever we talked about that. He didn't believe in quantum physics. As if it's something that you can optionally believe in. Well, it started with an experiment.
Oh wow, Dragon Ace, you might be right. This guy might be the rich guy who has his like never running out drink of like whiskey or whatever in Contradiction. Oh, that would be amazing. He even has a drink here. I hope it's the same guy. That would be an amazing running gag if he's just in every game these people make. He's just got that endless glass of whatever the hell liquor he's got. That'd be freaking brilliant. Tell me his dad's here and his dad hates him.
Have you heard of quantum suicide, Doctor?
Because, like, his father in the previous game, like, the character's father, was, like, my favorite character in the game, but he was so condescending. He couldn't get a tune out of a radio.
Quantum suicide is a thought experiment that tries to explain the many worlds theory. You're looking at me blankly. I can see that you don't understand. I knew you wouldn't. Alternate universes. Essentially, if I were to shoot myself, then in some alternate universe, I'd still be alive. Now imagine if I could actually choose that universe. I'm taking a product off a supermarket shelf. Well, I simply applied that logic to something different.
Imagine this were JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7. How are you today?
I burned the photos of Hannah.
There we go.
It didn't work.
Ah,
I suppose because the loss was superficial. The next thing I burned was the rocking chair. That worked. I've been getting rid of her stuff ever since.
so he did do it.
There was a day when I attacked a Salvation Army bin, but I gave in.
Curious.
I accidentally put Hannah's diary into a Salvation Army donation bin. They're like huge post boxes with a circular tray that makes sure things spill to the bottom. I tried to get in to get it back, but I gave up.
Burn it all.
I didn't notice Dr. Dekker had a paper spike. I haven't really seen more than a foot in front of me since Hannah died. Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore?
Huh.
Thanks for the dating advice, by the way.
Interesting. Did you follow it?
You told me not to look for anyone else until I was ready. So I didn't. I've just been sitting at home, reading Hannah's diary, stewing. I ordered a pizza. A nice girl delivered it.
Oh.
It took a week of days to get that pizza girl to smile. And you know what did it? A tip, as much as the pizza cost. So money does make you happy.
Do you have the same amount of money, like, each day? Curious. Yeah, Dragon Ace, the detective in Contradiction is just the best. If I were to do this, how would you respond? What if I showed you this? Salvia divinorum. Ah, welcome, Winterburn.
I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin. It's funny, because I wasn't going to read it. She said she'd fallen out of love with me. That she was going to break off the engagement. That she didn't love me anymore. I regretted it.
That's rough. What do you regret? Oh, welcome, Insane Buffoon. How goes it?
I regretted that I mourned for Hannah so long. I regret the grief. I regret all the days I slept through because of it.
Ouch.
Had I known she didn't love me anymore, things would have been different. I'm a bit angry now. If I had that day over again, I may just still pull out in front of the driver. I've got nothing to...
I'll get to Dr. Dekker later. How about Mariana with your visions of the sea? How are you today?
I'm okay. Thanks for asking. It's rent day, and I always feel a little blue on rent day.
Hello there, Daniel. Welcome.
Rent day is the day I pay rent to my landlord.
I kind of figured. That look, like, are you seriously asking me this?
You've got a good memory, Doctor. Let's talk dreams. Sometimes I'll dream about a light. Deep in the ocean somewhere.
I knew it was going to be in the sea before she even said it.
I head towards it because it's warm and glowing like a beacon. And when I'm at the bottom, it's the most beautiful thing. Like a welcoming sun. Like I'm home.
With the other cephalopod people.
And then I wake up.
Alright. Welcome, Dracologist.
It's so beautiful. Calls me. It's like I'm in a trance. What does the dream mean, Doctor?
I wonder if it is a dream. Symbolic? Made up? Searching for something?
I guess. I hate being in the same place for too long. Maybe I'm always searching for paradise or something.
Okay.
I've had no blackouts, and I haven't been to the beach since our last session.
Good.
But I think I will today.
Oh,
Do you want to come with me to the beach?
maybe I should for safety, but I get the feeling it's a bad idea. What if I just... Can I even do this?
Try again?
Maybe someone should come with you.
Doctor, I think you're getting a little anxious. If you ever wanted to visit the beach, you can just turn up. It's not mine.
That is a good point.
Dr. Dekker used to put my checks on that thing. I guess someone thought they weren't getting value for money. I actually don't have a lot of money. Sometimes a therapy check would bounce, but Dr. Dekker would be okay with it.
Huh.
Oh, my checks are fine though, don't worry.
But Dr. Dekker would be fine with it. So clearly something else is coming of this.
I'm not broke. Men buy me drinks at bars though. Sometimes I'll get away with not paying at restaurants. Isn't that how it is for everybody?
No.
I mainly like drive-thrus. I don't like crowds, and I find it difficult to stay in the same place for too long. I guess I'm a fidget.
Ah, welcome, Kazineko. How's it going? You dislike crowds but visit nightclubs. That's an interesting point. Where do you go on, like, Wednesday night when no one's there?
Crowds at nightclubs and bars are different. The lights are dim. You can slink around without attracting too much attention.
Huh. Yeah, why slink?
Sometimes I'll kiss a guy in a club, and then he just follows me. Wherever I go. It's creepy.
Yes, it is.
I don't want everyone seeing that.
Yeah, Kieran, men buy you drinks that you don't drink. Yeah, apparently. You have multiple people in the chat. Are you a siren?
They follow me. Wherever I go. Anywhere. Where do you think they follow me, Doctor?
To the beach, where you bring them to their hominid people and they devour them. I don't freaking know.
It depends where they follow me. If they follow me home, they bang on the door for an hour or so, then leave.
God damn.
Other places, they just disappear.
Permanently.
I don't see them again.
Well, I black out, I wake up, they're gone, only their clothes and personal possessions remain. What?
They don't just disappear into thin air. I think they returned to the place I found them. But I've not run into the same person twice.
Yeah. So they disappear into thin air is what you're saying. Do they follow you home? Yeah.
Yes, they follow me home. They're silent. It's like a trance.
That's terrifying. To bed? That's a little much. And she said that they knock on the door, so I'm thinking no?
It's just good manners to accept when someone offers to buy you a drink. I'm a very good-natured girl.
But she doesn't drink. Why are you good-natured? That's an odd question.
Are we still talking about him? And I thought you were just interested in me, Doctor.
Oh, that was actually it. So we have a time loop, we have a siren, we have an angel of death, we have a potential violent killer, we have a freaking creep who can freeze time or has a free hour, we have my assistant who may or may not have anything creepy going on, and we got Mr. Quantum Suicide over here. Back to Nathan. I guess I'll bring up Dekker after all.
I've told you all I know about Dr. Dekker.
Okay.
Started out good, then turned a bit crazy towards the end. When you start giving people more problems as a therapist, that's a bit crazy.
Fair enough.
I started out with depression. Now I seem to repeat days.
That didn't happen before?
Even if you don't believe the repeat days, then I clearly have extra mental health problems that he's given me.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
I think that he possibly cursed other people, a bit like he cursed me.
Hello there, Magnum.
Sometimes you could see he was bursting to tell me about it, but he couldn't. He was ecstatic with power.
Huh.
Curse. Well remembered. I was hoping he'd forget. It's going to sound crazy. Dr. Dekker said I would never be able to move forward until I came to terms with my grief.
Oh, so
So
he's
from this
repeating.
point on,
Yeah.
I start to relive the same day over and over again until I made something of it. I believed him.
What a nightmare. Let's go back to the Angel of Death. How are you?
I'm fine. Work's fine. Hilda's fading fast. Terry. Oh, you'd be pleased to know I don't have the locket anymore. I gave it back. All of it. Every single keepsake.
How is Hilda?
Hilda's nearing the end. She's been sleeping a lot, not eating much. She hasn't been that argumentative either. Although, she did give me a vicious scratch yesterday. It was nothing. I was just trying to give her meds. It's hard, you know? I'm trying to help her, but she keeps fighting me. It'll be better after she's seen her daughter. I've decided I'm going to do it tonight.
Disguise yourself as her
She
daughter?
hasn't got much time left.
I gotta see this. Some creepy shapeshifter. Do what tonight? Well, I think I know. But hold on. A vicious scratch? But I don't see anything. And we're in short sleeves and everything. Like, where could this have possibly been?
It was nothing.
Okay.
Terry seems to have backed down since I gave the keepsakes back. Actually, it doesn't seem like she's been very well. Not her usual self. Maybe she's got a bug or something.
And maybe she'll have a few more. Maybe I'll kill her. Oh, too far? Sorry.
It's true then. I'd heard Dr. Dekker was stabbed, but I didn't know for sure. It's weird that whoever did it would choose the paper spike.
Why is that weird? Okay.
Dr. Dekker used to play with it in our sessions sometimes. You know, pick it up, handle it while we talked. I remember once, he pushed the spike through his skin. Yeah, this bit here between his thumb and his finger.
Jeez.
He said he didn't think I'd mind the sight of blood being a nurse and all that, but actually, there wasn't any.
Oh, that's terrifying. That's so creepy. Everyone's weird in this game.
I was a bit freaked out. At first, I thought it was a trick. A magic trick, you know? Like some kind of therapeutic test. Show the patient this retractable spike and see how they react. But it wasn't. The spike was real.
Is Dekker a deep one?
Dr. Dekker gave me the paper spike to try. It wasn't fake. It was pretty sharp, actually. I don't know how he did it. He said he just thought that it wouldn't hurt him, so it didn't.
Huh. Do what tonight? Well, I'm imagining it's disguising yourself as Hilda's daughter.
You know the answer to that, Doctor.
Yeah.
What have we been talking about? What can I do for Hilda that will make it all better?
Yeah. Kill Hilda. No.
That's the plan. I know, it sounds unbelievable, like I'm making it up. I wish I could prove it to you somehow. We could try shifting now.
Yes.
Think of someone you really love. It might help if you close your eyes. Are you thinking of them?
This is gonna be so
Can you
freaking...
picture them? Okay, hold on.
Please don't jump scare me. Wait, what the hell? Did I see something with the face? Maybe not.
Sorry. I don't think it's gonna work. On the bright side, that probably means you're not gonna die anytime soon.
Wait a minute. I could plan to kill you, and then you'd see me shapeshift. Yeah. But no, for real though, before I did the close-up, I could have sworn I saw something going on with her face.
It's tricky. I mean, I'll sound exactly like Hilda's daughter, but I try and keep it vague because I don't become her. I don't know what she would really say. I say things like, it's okay, don't be scared, I love you, Mum, or I love you, Dad. But it doesn't really matter what their relationship's like because it's not really them. I always do the Disney version. The best, most loving version. That's what my patients want to hear. And maybe deep down they know it's not the truth, but it's got to be better than the reality.
Well, anything's better than a freaking skin thief who pretends to be my relative. That's horrifying. Why bother shifting if they know it's not the truth?
Does it really matter if it isn't the truth? Isn't it worth it if it brings them peace? Tell me honestly, Doctor, do you really think that what I'm doing is wrong?
Well, I'll play into her. And then there is a logic to it.
Good, because I really feel this is something I have to do.
Yeah, why'd you say I'm not gonna die soon? Can I only see you shift if I'm about to die? Is there gonna be a point where, like, I clearly see her shift and then I'm like, oh no, my days are numbered?
As far as I know, it only works on people who are close to death. That's the whole point of it. I have to hold their hand, and they have to think of the person, and they have to be near death. And those seem to be the 3 criteria.
How do you find that out?
It just makes things complicated, doesn't it? I knew Dr. Dekker's mother before I started seeing Dr. Dekker. She's dead, and now he's dead. I'm sure you're going to have a field day with it.
Now, this is good for now. Let's move to Claire. How are you, gentlemen?
I've been to the lake house regularly, keeping an eye on David. I saw the girl again, the one I told you about. She was playing outside.
Oh, yeah.
Think, Doctor, think.
Okay.
It makes for interesting reading, doesn't it? I can tell you're dying to ask me about it. Fire away. That's what it says. I can see you're confused. The police say that David is dead, fatally wounded when I stabbed him. The coroner says that David is dead. Everyone says that David is dead. There was even a funeral. But I know he's alive.
Well, that got way creepier. I know she said he doesn't get around much, but that's terrifying.
He's buried at Henley Church. You can go see for yourself. There's even a headstone.
Is that the empty
One
body
of your
bag?
other patients was a pallbearer. I never forget her face. You should ask him.
I will.
In simple terms, that means nothing.
Yes, Vienna. What?
I'm actually a classically trained pallbearer. There are a lot of health and safety considerations. Not everybody can do it. Well, properly at least. Occasionally I step in if the funeral director is short-shouldered. I do remember her face. She wasn't upset in the usual way. She seemed agitated. Her husband must have been a giant. The coffin was so heavy.
Oh?
I remember because aft port side sprained his ankle. That and he wasn't lifting correctly.
Damn. What was in there? You might say that's appalling.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Doctor. I saw Claire Castleford's husband in the coffin myself before carrying him to the grave. He is in the ground. I'm sure it wouldn't take much for the police to get an order to have him exhumed. Just make sure it's done on Tuesday morning when I'm off.
That's interesting.
Bryce was a pallbearer for David.
Yeah.
He's also a grave digger, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know where to go from there.
Smuggling a body out of a funeral can be difficult, unless you pay the right people.
Interesting.
A paper spike is an odd thing to use as a weapon. I suppose if it went directly into the heart, it might work. Or through his eye, or perhaps through the ear into his brain. Or was it just a frenzied, bloody mess of a murder? Do you know, Doctor?
Man, she makes me uncomfortable.
That's what it says.
Okay. Yeah, winter burn. That could be a grave situation.
David wanted to have a talk about our relationship. Not something any married person wants to hear. He said he'd been with Iris for about a year and that he loved her. He said he didn't love me anymore. Which I know is a lie. You don't just fall out of love with somebody. I reacted badly. I grabbed the nearest weapon I could find, which happened to be the steak knife, and stabbed him with it.
Like you do.
There was so much blood. I instantly regretted it. So, I fixed him.
What? What?
It was about a week later. I brought David back to life.
Oh my gosh.
Not with voodoo, not with virginal sacrifice. I just willed it to happen, and it did. Dr. Dekker told me it was possible, but only if you're not buried. He says once you're in the ground, there's no coming back. But until then, you have a chance at resurrection.
What is going on with Dr. Dekker?
Yes, resurrection. But now that I've seen the results, I don't think there's anything holy about it. I think reanimation is more an accurate term. Like, I'm an evil necromancer raising things from the dead.
Wow.
I think his brain was already decaying, during the week that he was dead. Important bits. So when I brought him back to life, I didn't heal him completely. Just gave him life in the state he was in.
Ugh.
I mean, he's hunting and killing things and trying to roast them on fires he can only light with matches, but that's about it.
That's so creepy.
He's your basic Neanderthal. So I have a problem.
Yeah, you do. What problem? Yeah, I can't imagine.
I'm being charged with murder because the police don't know he's still alive, and I can't get David to vouch for me for obvious reasons. I think it would raise quite a few more questions than answers, which is why I'm hoping that you'd be able to help me.
Kill David again.
Considering the circumstances, I'd be grateful if you could see your way to declaring me temporarily insane at the time of the murder.
Interesting.
To lessen my sentence. Because I'm not a killer.
I mean, you literally
I
are.
can't prove otherwise. You don't still think I'm a killer, do you, Doctor?
Well, if you brought him back to life, then you did kill him. Ooh, I'm conflicted on this one. Chat, what should I do with this? Should I play into her personality and get her to like me a little more and say, no, you're not a killer? Or should I say, no, you freaking killed a guy, even if you did bring him back to life? Which way should I go with this? Yes, you are, or no, you're not? Yeah, we got multiple. Even if you do resurrect, you're still a killer. The police meeting a zombie might be good evidence of something. Yeah, who even knows? Yeah, we're getting universal. I got one play along, everyone else is going with yes. Alright.
At worst, it's manslaughter. I didn't mean to kill him, I just stabbed him a bit. And although he was dead for a week, I brought him back to life. Does this mean you won't help me? Was I temporarily insane?
No, I'll take that, but you are a killer.
Thank you, Doctor. That's all I needed to hear. From you or Dr. Dekker. But Dr. Dekker wouldn't do that for me. He wanted something else.
So I stabbed him with the paper. Damn! Oh, ooh, spoilers.
Dr. Dekker accused me mercilessly about my alleged ability. He didn't believe I'd reanimated David. Once, he presented me with a dead mouse and commanded me to give it life again. I didn't, of course. It's not something I'd throw around lightly. He changed his mind about me eventually. And then he mentioned the girl.
Oh, yeah?
Dr. Dekker asked if I could prove David wasn't dead, so I took him to the lake house.
Really?
He saw that I was telling the truth. I can take you to see him too, if you like.
Yes.
Would you like to see David, Doctor?
Yes.
Very well. In our next session.
No way. Oh, man.
He told me he'd locked up a girl in the basement of his house. Just for me. And he asked me to reanimate her. It was Iris.
What?
I said I couldn't reanimate something that wasn't dead, and he said that wouldn't be a problem.
Oh my god.
So I agreed. I just played along. I was hoping it wasn't real. I assumed it wasn't real. But he was offering me what I wanted. A temporary insanity diagnosis.
Dr. Dekker's freaking nuts.
It didn't happen. Dr. Dekker called me from his house to cancel. He was furious. He said that Iris had escaped, and he blamed me for it. He said that I must have set her free after he told me about her. I knew it was all lies anyways. He was obviously titillating himself by reprimanding me. He knew I'd never want to speak to Iris again, so I couldn't prove it either way.
Huh. That is interesting and a half. Anyway, back to Bryce.
Hello, Doctor. I've been thinking about our last session, and I just wanted you to know that I'm not a bad person. I know taking naked photographs is wrong, but you don't know what it's like until you face the same temptation. I'm assuming you don't know what it's like. Do you have an extra hour, Doctor?
My god, that is an incredible clip for anyone who did not see the stream last time. Like, He just goes right into it. Just talking about naked photograph. Like, what did I miss? Yes, I have an extra hour. No, I don't.
Thank God for that. There's someone else in my hour. A hooded figure.
That's scary.
Watching me and following me. I followed it too.
If the guy with the extra hours freaked out, you know that's intimidating.
I don't know who it is. My initial thought was that it was you. That I told you about my affliction and somehow you'd got it too. Now I think maybe it's the military or some organization that wants to use the hour themselves. Maybe it's Dr. Dekker risen from the dead.
Not out of the question.
I need to talk to you about him. I spied on Dr. Dekker not long before he was murdered. I'm not sure I should tell you what I saw in his basement.
Oh my god, dude. Dr. Dekker sounds worse and worse, and each patient has a different terrible story about him.
I'd been feeling uneasy with Dr. Dekker for some time. I mentioned how he'd changed before, so I began spying on him at home. One night, the basement door was open, and Dekker was returning upstairs. I skipped past him, and there she was, a girl. It was difficult to tell.
Are you the one who let Iris out?
And she was chained. The girl who was chained in the basement. Her name is Iris.
That's cool that I can do that.
How do you know that? Not that it means anything. She wouldn't remember me anyway. Time was frozen.
That's so odd.
I removed the chains, dressed her, and sat her in the police station. There's no evidence, though. No evidence of what he'd done. But she was free. I saved her. I'm not evil. I destroyed evil.
Curious.
It didn't happen. Smuggling a...
Damn. Alright.
Whatever it is that's following me, it doesn't want to catch me yet. If I move towards it, it runs away. And when I follow it past temptations. A bar brawl, an open till, an open bedroom window. Like it's testing me.
How bizarre.
I did nothing. I'm not stealing anymore.
Oh, yeah?
I split the brawl up.
That must have been weird. The people just teleport a little bit apart from each other, like, oh, I guess we're not fighting anymore.
I looked in. Watching other people is somehow built into our genes, Doctor. There was an old woman in bed. I went inside. Her bed covers were smoking. I think she'd fallen asleep holding a cigarette. I took the covers and put them in the bath. She'd have died otherwise. And no, I didn't take any pictures.
Ugh.
Dr. Dekker frequently used that paper spike on his desk as an example. I'm sure he did it with the other patients too.
Yep.
He'd make me look at it, touch the point to see how sharp it was. He'd tell me that because I think it's sharp, it will hurt me. But if I thought it was nothing, it could pass right through my hand.
Yeah, he did that with other patients, apparently.
I'm surprised I haven't been approached earlier. I mean, my skills in the military. Special ops would be a breeze, wouldn't it? Waltz in past everyone during the midnight hour, get whatever you want, and return to friendly soil. It also makes me think that they might already know all of that, and that they want to get rid of me in case I tell anyone else. Would you do something for me if they get me?
God knows what I would do, but sure I would.
Would you tell Jessica I love her? She didn't really know me that well, but I did love her. And also, there's a hard drive in the bottom drawer of my drinks cabinet.
Oh?
Please destroy it. Please, don't look at it.
That's probably unpleasant. Well, now we're up to yellow. How about Jaya? How are you?
I'm fine. I'm ready for my grief counselling. I emailed you Mariana's address. I don't know why you'd want it. I suppose you're going to start doing home visits now, like Dr. Dekker?
Huh. Why would I want it? Well, she just said she doesn't know.
It's in that police report that I gave to you. You should really take a look at it.
Well, I did that.
Grief is such a strange word if you keep saying it. Grief, grief, grief. It sounds like somebody's being whipped. And you're going to ask me how I feel today?
How are you? Didn't I already do that?
I think that's all settled now. We are agreeing to pay Ben £5,000 and he's agreeing not to say anything about what he saw. He thought he saw a creature
Oh?
coming out of Dr. Dekker's mouth.
You have my
Well,
attention.
At least that's the reason he's given for not emptying the bins that night. Either way, it's not the kind of publicity that we need.
That is correct.
Shiny, happy, sane people.
Goodness gracious.
I don't know anything about...
Damn.
I honestly think that you're curing me with all this grief counselling. You know, we don't really have to talk about Dr. Dekker from now on if you don't want to. We had a connection, but it's gone now. Dr. Dekker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you eat or something like that. But it was flattering, especially with competition like Mariana around.
Mariana's a freaking patient. Yeah, is she competition?
Sorry, I didn't mean I was competing. I was happy Mariana was going out with him. I didn't want to be romantic with him. We had a stronger connection than that. Yes, Dr. Dekker started doing home visits for Mariana. He said she couldn't concentrate properly in his office. I hope you're not thinking of doing the same thing. I need you right where I can see you.
Fair enough.
Dr. Dekker and I shared some philosophy. We'd both read The Cult of the Kinetic Mind, and we agreed with a lot of what it said. Have you read that book, Doctor?
I cannot say that I have. I don't even have a yes option.
In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is capable of psychokinesis and that the cult leaders specifically had these powers that turned their followers into disciples. It's not a fun read, but if you're into psychology, it's a blast. No, not at all in my experience. Dr. Dekker had an unusual number of patients who claimed psychokinesis. Either he'd been specifically looking for them or someone had been sending them.
Huh. Now that's curious too.
It's entirely possible that someone is targeting this practice with psychokinetic patients. To what end, I don't know. It's no coincidence that most psychokinetic patients are diagnosed as insane, or at least temporarily insane. It's a handy diagnosis if you're facing criminal prosecution, especially if it's for murder.
Can't argue there.
I didn't go out for Valentine's. I was at home. Wait, actually, I did come up to the office at about 9. I'd forgotten a USB stick that had some files I was working on.
And then I killed Dekker. I mean, damn.
I was cross-referencing the patient
Oh.
files for Dr. Dekker, and I copied everything onto a USB drive. I was terrified it had all gone missing. Can you imagine the trouble we'd get into if the patient files suddenly turned up on the internet?
Ugh. It is really satisfying, though, when you ask a question and it actually comes up.
Psychokinesis is the ability to change the physical world without actually touching it, just by using your mind. It's not just about bending spoons. It covers all sorts of things like telepathy, telekinesis, telesabalas.
I've never heard
Shoot
about.
me, I'm a Kojak fan.
Like I said, I didn't get that at all.
Doctor, if you don't want it, don't text me and ask for it. It's all right. I don't mind doing menial tasks for you. Someone has to do them.
Did what? Did that happen?
Well, maybe someone sneaked your phone during a session and texted. I know they all look innocent, but if it's not nailed down, there's a good chance they'll walk away with it. You know, I used to have an iPad. And a Surface.
Damn. Well, that's uncomfortable.
Like I said, all those cool things are in Cult of the Kinetic Mind, apart from Kojak, obviously.
Haha.
If you ever get a patient who thinks they can change the world with just their mind, then duck. Just in case they can. But seriously, do a whole load of shrinking and make them better. Whether you believe in psychokinesis or not, you'll need to figure out your approach with those that do.
That reminds me of that one webcomic with the two boxers, and one of them starts making the motion like he's going to do a Kamehameha blast, and the other guy goes, "I forfeit." And then in his interview, he said, "Look, I know that the odds are he couldn't actually do it, but I wasn't going to risk it just in case he could." It's freaking great. Just for the hell of it.
Like I said,
Okay.
checks and balances, Doctor. Somebody needs to be watching the watchman, so to speak. Make sure you're helping, not hindering.
Whoa, you just solved Alan Moore's great conundrum. Now I know exactly who's watching the Watchmen.
He probably did his fair share of helping and hindering. He was definitely helping in the beginning, but then seemed to lose sight of things. I think he was so overwhelmed by the patients he was getting. His curiosity just got the better of him. There was a definite turning point. Somewhere around the time Professor
Oh, there we
Alderby
go.
turned up, that seemed to unsettle him. And then we had a flood of extra weird patients. I think it was all too much for him. I think I misjudged him. I hope you deal with it better. How do you make people who think they have special powers better? Do you remain passive and support, encourage them, take them away?
Well, we're on the yellow here. I'll come back to this. No, we're all yellow, except for Nathan.
I didn't want to believe him. I remember I said, "You can't just say things and they happen." He laughed and laughed. I think he was going mad. He said he'd give me a demonstration. He held his hand outstretched and told me to look at the flame. There was no flame, and then there was.
Huh.
He was holding a flame in his hand that
What
had come
the-
out of nowhere. And he tried to hypnotize me to make me forget it.
That, whoa. Yo, this game.
I didn't forget seeing the flame. He wanted me to forget it all, but I didn't. For whatever reason, he couldn't undo what he'd done. I was scared. I pretended like the hypnosis had worked. He'd become bored of me, so I got much of my insight from calls or messages he'd take during our sessions. I think because he hypnotized me, he didn't want to play with me anymore, so I got basic therapist. I was scared what Dr. Dekker would do to me if he found out I still knew, so I had to play along and keep coming to the sessions. pretend I hadn't seen what he'd done.
That is scary.
It was awful, because I was suffering through the same days over and over again. But I couldn't talk to him about it, because he'd know. He told me lots of people get depression, to become more active, see more people. And although he wouldn't always be there to listen, Jaya would be.
Interesting.
Jaya was a great listener, much better than Dr. Dekker. I think she would have made a great psychiatrist. Do you know, he tried to fire her. Yeah, he fired her. Jaya told me about it. You should ask her.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know everything. I know.
I've already covered that. I mean, I didn't answer the question, but yeah. Well, actually, chat, what do you think I should do with people who think they have superpowers? Be passive, encourage their powers, or attempt to remove their powers? What do you think about that? Also, greetings, Dragon Demon Godslayer King. So what opinions do we have of answering Jaya's question here? Because I don't know how you would remove their powers, but if you can convince them that they're not there, that might help. If you encourage them, that might play into their fantasies, but what if they really do have powers? Be passive. Maybe that'll help keep them calm, but what if it gets them frustrated? So I have 1 vote for remove, 1 vote for encourage. Do we have any other people who would like to weigh in on this? I don't know if momentous is the right word, but this decision? We have 2 more for encourage. Yes, send him to Professor X. Do it. 1 vote for passive. It looks like encourage is winning out. The most aggressive answer, unless you actually can remove the powers, but we'll see.
To deepen their affliction? I wouldn't.
Well. Okay. God damn, now all of a sudden I can talk about the being fired. Wow.
Research is research. What's good for one doctor is good for the next. They don't throw out the old TARDIS, do they?
That's a good point. There's no way this is going to come up, but I'm just curious.
That's a strange... Oops. That was a strange thing to say, wasn't it? Whipped. Am I all whips and chains in the bedroom or dominant in the boardroom? Don't answer that, it's not a question.
I saw a
It's
question mark.
early days for a harassment suit yet. What with Ben's nervous shock already. I'm happy for you to tell the police whatever you want about me. I mean, who needs trust in our work environment?
Hello there, Douglas.
I was a bit of a shoulder to cry on for Nathan. He told me a lot of things about Dr. Dekker that I probably shouldn't have heard, and I'm not about to repeat to you either.
Damn.
Why? What did he say about me?
You said you're a damn good listener.
Have you been taking notes in our session?
Nah.
He wanted me to look up birth mothers and other family tree information. It's like he was seeing if all of his patients were descendants of the same line. Well, spoiler alert, they weren't. Dr. Dekker did send me to see his mother once. She was dying in a nursing home and he didn't want to see her. I remember him calling her a manipulative, evil old hag. You tend not to ask any more questions after that.
And if someone like Dr. Dekker calls somebody else evil, you know that's serious. Actually, let's go back to the professor. It's been a while.
Gambling. I set up an experiment whereby I would visit a casino and place a very large bet at a roulette table. Now, I would always bet on odd. Now, the results of this particular experiment were mundane. I won as many times as you would expect according to the laws of probability. But then, I changed a parameter.
Go on.
Quantum suicide required a loss of life to make it a realistic thought experiment. So I simply upped the stakes. Now, every time I bet on odd, I would place everything I had on that one spin of the wheel, and it worked. Well, for a while. Dr. Dekker killed it, and I can't get it back.
Everybody hates Dr. Dekker.
Well, my theory, quantum gambling. If the stakes are high enough, you will win every time by simply shifting your consciousness into that branch that wins. It's tricky, but it can be done. Dr. Dekker didn't like that. He saw me becoming rich and powerful, and he hated that. That's why he proffered the hangman's paradox.
Dr. Dekker was not a fan of dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
Well, imagine a judge sentences you to death. Now, it will be Monday or Tuesday next week, but it will be a surprise. Well, which day do you think you'll be executed?
I think I might have heard of this one before. Yeah, Daniel, he's rambling and gambling. Monday, Tuesday.
Well, Monday does seem likely, yes. Because if you're still alive on Monday at midnight, then Tuesday won't be a surprise. But if you're sure that it's Monday, then that won't be a surprise either, will it? Dekker tricked me. Now, he told me that sometime in the future I would lose a bet, that I would lose all of my money. Now, this didn't seem likely because I had quantum gambling on my side and it was working. But he unnerved me. He made me doubt myself. And then it happened. Recently, I lost everything that I'd managed to build up since Vanessa left me.
Was that one or two S's?
We were married for 14
Okay.
years, 7 months, and 3 days. Vanessa couldn't have children. At least that's what she told me. She grounded me in reality. I'm not complaining. It's probably what I needed. But part of me always thought one day I'd achieve immortality through science. It wasn't to be, though.
I love how sinister this guy comes off in both this game and in Contradiction. It's fantastic.
Why not gambling? My wife Vanessa left me for a neurosurgeon. She emptied our entire combined wealth into her barrister's wallet. I needed more money. Physics provided me with a solution. Honestly? Well, I think he feared quantum physics. He didn't like things being explained in terms of science. Almost as if he'd have preferred chaos. No,
I don't know anything about chaos. I'm a man of science.
Well, yes, it bothered me. Especially now that I find out that she's pregnant. Oh, no, it wasn't a rocket scientist that was required, but a brain surgeon, it seems. I have considered putting that neurosurgeon onto his darkest timeline. But I'm not a killer, it would seem.
You can put other people into different timelines, too? That's creepy. Oh, Dracologist, who was this guy in Contradiction? He was the head of that organization you're investigating. And you can't see it in this particular shot of him right now. Well, now it's an empty couch, but yeah, there you go. You can't see it now, but this guy like constantly had like a glass of, what was it, some like whiskey or something. He was just constantly swirling it around. It was pretty great. We just talked to Nathan a little bit. What about, well, did it follow her to the shops? Whatever. Oh. Good-natured, bad home, but let's list the shops.
You're not getting it.
Oh, I spelled that wrong.
They...
Let's try this then.
They...
Damn it. Whatever.
There
Take it all the
was
way.
one guy. A real gym buddy. I let him into the bedroom, but nothing. Nothing I did would stop him just staring at me.
It's terrifying.
It was creepy. I got him to follow me outside, and then I just shut the door. Dr. Dekker suggested home visits. I think he was probably checking up on his investment. You're not thinking of doing home visits, are you, Doctor?
Let's go with no.
That's good. I'm not sure I can afford any more of your time. Don't you think I'm sweet, Doctor?
Apparently so sweet people mindlessly follow you home. Yes, you're sweet.
I think you're falling for me, Doctor. Don't let that get in the way of helping me.
Oh, Daniel, maybe the drink the guy was holding in the contradiction was scotch. Could be. I don't know. Actually... Interesting.
I don't talk to them, they don't talk to me.
I don't know how much that necessarily mattered, but that's interesting.
Yeah, that's the reason I came to see him. I knew she was dying, but he refused to talk to me unless I booked a session, so I did. And well, here we are. I told Dr. Dekker that his mum was dying, that he should see her before it's too late. But he wasn't interested. It wasn't like he hated her. It was just like it wasn't important. He asked me to take care of it for him. He did send his assistant along to see her once. Sorry, your assistant.
Huh.
Sorry, it was about the second, third session we had. He said he could tell that I was a good person, that I wanted to help people, and that I should think really hard about how I could do that. That's how I discovered shifting.
Every time it does a close-up of her face, I'm ready for some, like, creepy shifting thing.
All Dr. Dekker did was encourage me to think. But the shifting, that's all me. And my mum's a psychic, and my sister's an empath, but I was just ordinary. I always felt like I wasn't special, like I was missing out. But I wasn't. I just hadn't discovered what I could do yet. Sarah Dekker was one of the first ones I tried shifting for. I didn't really know what I was doing that first time. I mean, I didn't actually expect anything to happen. I just thought, what would really help this woman? I thought maybe she would just imagine that he was there. But it actually happened. I changed into him, Dr. Dekker. It blew my mind.
Curious.
My mum's got these spirit guides and they tell her things. Mostly about my love life, it would seem.
Fun. I mean, I know what an empath is.
To tell you the truth, I don't really know what an empath is. I should probably Google it sometime.
My sister's an empath, or so she tells me. And it's someone who can, like, feel emotions. Why? Oh, that's a good point. She didn't actually hold my hand to try shifting.
Well, I wasn't sure if it would still work. Sorry. It's just... I get a sense that... I probably shouldn't say, but... Well... Just think what it would mean for you if I'd been able to shift.
Just every patient in the game has been Ellen this entire time.
You tell me. What could possibly explain that?
Huh. Is David not human?
Since I brought him back, I felt that there was something different about him, something not quite right. I think it's his brain. But how ludicrous that you can bring someone back in the first place. It's like that book, Pet Cemetery.
Oh, great.
Funnily enough, he does smell of earth, but that's because he spends most of his time out hunting. If David doesn't exist, then that means that I really did kill him. He really is buried, and I really should be going to prison for a very long time. That just doesn't seem right to me.
Huh.
It's more probable that I reanimated him under Dr. Dekker's guidance.
More probable.
How astute, Doctor. Yes, I did say I hadn't seen Dr. Dekker outside of our sessions. That wasn't a lie. Our trip to the lake house was made during a session.
Yeah, well, he does make house calls.
I assure you, David is not a ghost. I've touched him.
You can touch ghosts?
I didn't speak to her this time. Something about her made me feel uneasy. I just watched her from the bedroom window. She'd caught a fish. She was holding it in her hands. I wasn't close enough to see, but for all intents and purposes, it looked as if the fish bit her.
Really?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive.
They didn't sub that. Also, I was actually kind of waiting for the opposite, like the girl bit the fish. Something's fishy here.
I wasn't close enough.
Can you prove David's alive? I think we already have been over that.
I have a picture of him I took after he came back. I'll bring it in next session.
I was really hoping you'd bring him in next session. But it is what it is. Bryce.
I put my hand through a rusty nail at work today.
Ugh.
It hurt like hell and bled like I'd been shot. I closed my eyes and thought, this isn't happening. The nail is just a worm, and it will wriggle through me. When I looked back, can you guess what I saw? My hand had healed. The nail had become a worm and was wriggling in my palm.
Huh.
It was like a little miracle, like magic.
Interesting.
When I looked back at my hand, it was healed. Look, see?
I was kind of waiting to see it shift into like a hole or something.
I shouldn't really say miracle or magic. They're words that Dr. Dekker used when he tried to get you to think things and make them real. But do you think it's real, Doctor?
Ooh.
That magic is real?
I'll play to his perspective.
And so it isn't. I envy you, Doctor. I wish I could be so sure.
Why'd you say aft port side? I'm pretty sure that's just like the guy on the left side of the coffin toward the back. Like he's referring to the particular person who is carrying the coffin.
I find using nautical terms to describe the position of pallbearers fitting. Plus, most of them are 3 sheets to the wind. You know, drunk. Jessica is a beautiful woman. I've not spied on her since the incident we talked about. I have real feelings for her, Doctor. We've never connected. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. It's nice you think I'm capable of such basic interaction with females.
That is a cringeworthy...
But I'm still in awe of her, really. I will think about it, though.
Good luck talking to females, Bryce. Why would the hooded figure test you?
I think that I'm becoming a good person, Doctor. I'm ashamed of some of the things I've done, but I'm getting better. The hooded figure, it's testing my morals. Judging me. For what? I don't know.
Honestly, I think Dr. Dekker had a bit of a crush on Mariana, or vice versa. I'm not really sure. There's some footage from their home sessions if you want to see them.
Are you serious?
That was a joke, Doctor. I guess we found our level.
Oh. Damn. No, I don't want to see the footage.
I didn't see anyone else. I didn't hang around. It's just a USB stick. I got in, I got the data, I got out. I'm basically special ops. I can work from home if you want me to. Is that what you're asking? There's lots of bookkeeping to be done. You'd be surprised.
What did Dr. Dekker and Mariana do on their date?
I have no idea what they did and when they did it. I'm happy to keep it that way too.
I kind of am as well, actually. Dr. Dekker sounds just more and more uncomfortable every single time I hear about him. Also, I like that my option to change days has been up for a while now. Like, we've had enough. But I want more info.
I was at a fundraiser for a charity called Mind Stretch Outreach. Don't know how I got roped into that, I can't remember. But it was full of very clever children with bizarre outlooks on life. And Jaya. It was Jaya who asked me to go.
Is Jay like a sleeper agent this entire time? Or not a sleeper, like a covert agent this entire time?
Oh, she's Dr. Dekker's lovely assistant. I imagine she's your lovely assistant now. Yeah, she always smiles and makes me a cup of tea before a session. Smile. Which reminds me, my session. Can we talk about my problem now?
Yes. I would love to.
I'm not a gambler, Doctor. I'm a scientist. I need more money. It's true I've run out of money for my research. An opportunity has arisen.
Yeah, Dragon News, you make a good point. Bryce did mention, oh, with my extra hour, I could be in and out like special ops. And Jaya also mentioned that. Let me see something real quick.
I don't know what you'll get.
It's probably not going to help.
No. You have an interesting aura, Doctor.
Yeah, it's just nothing.
I don't often see auras, Doctor. Yours is unusual. Like, you're more than one person.
Oh?
Maybe I've had a few too many drams.
That's interesting. I'm using my hint on this one. Claire knows Iris. That's true.
I had no idea there was a connection between those two. Wow. Behind closed doors, eh?
That's it. That's all you get.
A very wealthy group of individuals have offered to pay me a very large sum of money if I attend their next private soiree. They don't want to talk or anything like that. They want a practical demonstration. They'll pay me £1 million.
Oh my
If I
god.
can successfully survive 6 rounds of Russian roulette. Now, I am worried because of what Dr. Dekker said, but, well, can't help but thinking that the stakes are so high I can't possibly lose. What do you think, Doctor? Should I take them up on their offer?
See, this is like when Brian asked me, should I take this poison pill? And I said no. Could I just, like, eliminate a patient tomorrow? Damn. Chat, what do you think? Should I opt for him to take the offer or tell him no? For freaking Russian roulette. I'm gonna choose one option while waiting, but yes or no for Russian roulette?
Quantum gambling. It's a pet project. It's got nothing to do with work. But if I don't have significant amounts of money to lose, then there won't be enough jeopardy for the experiment to work.
What are the timeline? Is the one he fails? Well, he could shift timelines, hopefully. Oh yeah, Winterburn. 1,000,000 to 1 odds always succeed. But they have to be 1,000,000 to 1. They can't be less than that. Or I should say greater than that. So we have 1 vote for yes, 1 vote for no.
Well, the Ministry of Defense, of course.
2 for yes.
Guns aren't going to win the
3.
next war. Quantum physics is.
We have a few. Alright, I'll do it. I feel uncomfortable about this, but I'll do it.
Splendid. I can't lose, Doctor. Let me demonstrate.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What's with the low frame rate? What? Well, I think that implies I could have killed Nathan earlier in the game. Now, the real trick is going to be if he comes back. That actually would be creepy. The next day, he's just back. I have 6 people I can talk to. Oh my god.
I didn't kill Dr. Dekker. I wanted to be as far away from him as possible. I don't know who did.
Well, I guess we could say that Professor Warwick beat the odds. He got the unlikely bullet on the very first try. I will do one more question, and then I will change days and end the stream. That was unpleasant.
No.
Okay. Make something of repeat days.
No. Like I said, it takes something like a tragic event to move my day forward. I do more and more bizarre things to try and get things moving. It's a curse, like I said.
Okay, I'm going to advance the day and hope nothing bad happens because a man killed himself in my office.
Don't know.
Okay. We're out. I'm sorry.
You can stop looking at me like that. You've made me do this.
Made you what?
Don't try and escape. You're all tied up. Now tell me the truth. Is this a dream?
Oh dear. I did forget. I was going to end the stream, but I did forget that we do these interludes.
That's a good doctor. Yes, it's all a big dream. So let's get down to business. Do you believe that people can have kinetic powers?
No. Well, something was going on with Alice, though. Yes.
How do we treat people with kinetic powers? Do we encourage them or do we discourage them?
You seemed to prefer discouraging.
Very good, Doctor. That's the right answer. Remember it, or there will be consequences.
Oh my god.
Since I'm here, let's have a little bit of fun. Shall we, Doctor?
Hold on. Before you do, give me. Hold on. Just. I didn't. Next day.
Someone else in my hour.
I brought David back to life.
I removed the chains, dressed her.
It was Iris.
We could try shifting now.
Would you like to see David, Doctor?
I love all these
We
connections.
both read The Cult of the Kinetic Mind, and that broke. It's no coincidence that most psychokinetic patients are
Grateful if you could see your way to declaring me
insane, or at least
temporarily insane.
There was no flame. And then there was.
I'll kiss a guy,
I pretended like the hypnosis had worked.
and then he just follows me
Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore?
wherever I go.
Mate, just still pull out in front of the driver.
Dreams. I really hope that Warwick is just
Morning,
here.
Doctor. You're looking a bit unwell. Are they getting you all wound up? Well, have a look at this. I found it in Dropbox. Apparently, Dr. Dekker lent Mariana some money. Sounds dodgy, doesn't it? I also got the toxicology report back from Officer Yates, and shocker, Dr. Dekker had... Sorry, you just have to read it. I should have spoiler alert tattooed on my forehead. And can we not do the grief counselling thing today? I'm all sorts of behind on work and I'm getting more stressed out watching it all pile up. If you need anything though, I'm here.
Yeah, I could sure go for some needle nose pliers. Hang on. Yeah, what dream was that? Jaya thinks I should tell all the patients I could stop their problems. Perhaps I should avoid her till later. You're goddamn right. Wait, we have 8 people. Jaya. Scarlet. Glenn. We do not have Warwick. We have 2 completely new patients. And everyone's at... Well, they're at yellow, but... Oh, boy. Where's my, It's this, right? Toxicology... Well, I'll do loan agreement first. £15,000. Arrangement fee, £1. For 36 months. By signing this agreement, the borrower agrees to accept the sum of the loan amount and to repay the loan amount in full within the term stated. The sum of the loan will be transferred by the lender into an account designated by the borrower within 14 days of signing the agreement. It is agreed that the loan shall attract no interest, and in lieu of accruing interest, the lender has agreed to the payment of the arrangement fee, which is due before transfer of the loan amount. The lender also agrees to consider the loan repaid in full should they die or become subject to any power of attorney agreement, as long as this event occurs within the term of the agreement. Signed, Mariana. So Mariana's loan is considered repaid, I guess, if this was from Dr. Dekker. And toxicology report. J.M. Clausen, Dr. Dekker, sex male, ethanol, positive. And for drugs, benzodiazepines, positive, temazepam. Okay. It's a shame you can't scroll for, like, any of these. But there you go. Spoiler, Jaya. But Warwick's freaking dead, man. And I think I might have been able to kill Nathan in a previous interlude. So this is making me nervous. In any case, this is where I'm going to stop things for now. So thank you very much for joining the stream. And have a wonderful night.